Hey everybody, it's your old pal Dave, and listen, I'm fired up today to talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart, building an emergency fund. You know, life's got a funny way of throwing curveballs when you least expect it. Your car breaks down, the AC goes out in the middle of July, or maybe you face an unexpected medical bill. These things happen, folks, but they don't have to derail your financial life. That's why we're diving deep today into why having an emergency fund is crucial, and more importantly, how you can start building one starting today. We're going to walk through this step by step, so stay tuned. So, what exactly are we talking about when we say emergency fund? Well, it's pretty simple. An emergency fund is a stash of money set aside to cover the financial surprises life throws your way. These unexpected events can be stressful and costly, and having a dedicated fund can make all the difference. It's not your vacation fund, meant for those fun trips and getaways that you plan and look forward to. It's not your new shoe fund, for those stylish purchases that make you feel good but aren't essential. And it's definitely not your treat yourself fund, for those little luxuries and indulgences that bring joy to your life. This is your peace of mind money. It's the financial buffer that allows you to sleep soundly at night, knowing you're prepared for the unexpected. It's cash set aside specifically for those unexpected events that pop up in life. Think of it as a financial safety net that catches you when life throws a curveball. Think of it like a safety net, providing you with the security and stability to navigate life's uncertainties. A financial cushion to absorb those unexpected blows, giving you the confidence to handle emergencies without panic. Because let me tell you folks, those unexpected events, they're gonna happen. Whether it's a car breaking down, a sudden medical expense, or a home repair, life is full of surprises. It's not a matter of if, but when. These events are inevitable, and being prepared is crucial. And when they do, you don't want to be caught off guard, scrambling to borrow money, or trying to figure out how to cover the costs, racking up credit card debt, and stressing yourself out. The last thing you need in an emergency is additional financial stress. An emergency fund is about taking control of your finances. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, and ensuring you have a plan in place, and being prepared for whatever life throws your way. It's about having a sense of security and readiness, knowing that you can handle unexpected challenges. It's about having the confidence to face those unexpected challenges head-on, knowing you've got this. With an emergency fund, you can tackle life's surprises with a sense of calm and assurance, knowing you're financially prepared. Alright, so we know what an emergency fund is, but how much do you actually need in there? Now, I'm not one for a one-size-fits-all approach, but a good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dave, that sounds like a lot of money. And you know what? You're right, it is. But that's the point. This is your financial safety net, your peace of mind. You want it to be strong enough to catch you when you fall. Start by figuring out how much you spend each month on essentials, rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation, the basics. Then multiply that number by 3. That's your starting point. Once you hit that goal, you can aim for 6 months worth, or even more if you're feeling really ambitious. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dave, I can barely afford my bills. How am I supposed to save up 3 to 6 months worth of expenses? Listen, I get it. It can feel overwhelming, especially when you're living paycheck to paycheck. But trust me, it's not impossible. Building an emergency fund takes time and effort, and it requires a bit of discipline and planning. But the peace of mind you'll gain is worth every bit of the effort you put in. But let me tell you, it's absolutely possible. You just need to take it one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll have a solid financial cushion to fall back on. First things first, you gotta get on a budget. This is the foundation of your financial health. Without a budget, it's like trying to build a house without a blueprint. You need to know where your money is going each month. Track every dollar, and you'll start to see patterns in your spending. This awareness is the first step to making meaningful changes. So you can find ways to free up some cash. Maybe you're spending more on dining out than you realized, or perhaps those subscription services are adding up. Look for areas where you can cut back, even if it's just a little bit. Small changes can add up to significant savings over time, even if it's just a little bit. For example, can you switch to a cheaper phone plan? Or maybe reduce your cable package? Can you brown bag your lunch a couple of times a week? This simple change can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Maybe skip that daily latte? Every little bit helps. Those small savings can quickly add up, and make a big difference in your ability to save. Once you've freed up some cash, it's time to put that money to work. Don't let it sit in your checking account where it might get spent. Make saving for your emergency fund a priority. This should be one of your top financial goals, right up there with paying off debt. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account each month. This way, you won't even have to think about it. The money will be saved before you have a chance to spend it. Treat it like a non-negotiable bill. Just like you wouldn't skip paying your rent or mortgage, don't skip your savings transfer. Remember, this is an investment in your future, in your peace of mind. Having an emergency fund means you won't have to rely on credit cards or loans when unexpected expenses arise. In your peace of mind, you'll sleep better at night knowing you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. So start today, take those baby steps, and build your big ol' emergency fund. Alright, so you've worked hard, you've scrimped and saved, and you've finally built up a nice little emergency fund. Congratulations! Now here's the hard part. Don't touch it. I know, it's tempting to dip into that money for a vacation or a new gadget, but resist the urge. This money is for emergencies only. And remember, emergencies are unexpected. Your car breaking down is an emergency. Your best friend's destination wedding is not. Your basement flooding is an emergency. That flash sale at your favorite store is not. Stay strong, folks. The more you resist the temptation to spend your emergency fund, the more it will grow, and the more secure your financial future will be. All right, folks, we've covered a lot of ground today, but before we wrap up, I want to highlight some common mistakes people make when it comes to emergency funds. These mistakes can be costly and can set you back significantly if you're not careful. So let's dive in and make sure you're on the right track. First up, not having one at all. Come on, folks, this is like playing financial Russian roulette. Imagine facing an unexpected expense without any savings to fall back on. It's a risky game that can lead to debt and financial stress. An emergency fund is your first line of defense against life's unpredictable moments. Don't wait for an emergency to happen before you start saving. Emergencies can strike at any time. A sudden medical bill, a car breakdown, or even a job loss. The key is to be prepared before these situations arise. Start small if you have to, but start now. Even a little bit saved each month can add up over time. Another mistake is keeping your emergency fund in the wrong place. It's not just about having the money, it's about where you keep it. Keeping it in a checking account might seem convenient, but it's also tempting to spend. You need to find a balance between accessibility and temptation. Don't leave it sitting in your checking account where it's too easy to spend. Instead, consider a separate savings account. This way, you're less likely to dip into it for non-emergencies. It's all about creating a barrier between your everyday spending and your emergency savings. Put it in a separate savings account, preferably a high-yield savings account where it can earn some interest. This not only keeps your money safe, but also helps it grow over time. The interest earned can be a nice little bonus that adds to your emergency fund without any extra effort on your part. And finally, don't treat your emergency fund like a bottomless pit. It's there for emergencies, not for everyday expenses. If you find yourself dipping into it frequently, it might be time to reassess your budget and spending habits. Remember, the goal is to have this fund available when you truly need it. If you do have to dip into it, make it a priority to replenish it as soon as possible. Life happens, and sometimes you will need to use that money. But once the emergency is over, focus on building it back up. This ensures that you're always prepared for the next unexpected event. Remember, this is your financial safety net. It's there to catch you when you fall, to provide peace of mind, and to keep you from falling into debt. A well-funded emergency fund can make all the difference in how you handle life's challenges. You want it to be strong and ready to catch you when you need it most. So, take these tips to heart, avoid these common mistakes, and make sure your emergency fund is in the best shape possible. Your future self will thank you. That's it for today, folks. Remember, building an emergency fund is one of the most important things you can do for your financial well-being. It takes time, it takes effort, but I promise you it's worth it. Start small, be consistent, and don't give up. You've got this. For more resources and tools to help you on your journey to financial peace, visit our website at website address. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more financial advice you can trust. Until next time, keep those emergency funds growing.